All right, we're back in Hessmer, Louisiana on Cajun Classic Cars TV. Our good friend Mark is here, and we've got a different one of your vehicles. Tell us what we're going to talk about today, Mark.
Today's my Porsche 911, the Carrera 4S.
Welcome back to another edition of Cajun Classic Cars TV, where you and your car are the stars. We're back in Hessmer, Louisiana, talking with Mark. Check out our recent episode with Mark featuring his 2012 McLaren. But right now, let's talk with Mark about his cool Porsche.
What year is this car?
This is a 2019 special ordered it with what I wanted and what I didn't want was not put in it, so it's a 2019.
So we talked before about your McLaren, and now we're on to your Porsche. Is there a special story about your love for Porsches or anything like that, or you just saw this one and said, gotta have it?
Well, I always wanted a Porsche. I actually bought both vehicles as I wanted them. I ordered this one, special ordered it. I actually sold both vehicles, had enough of them, and then yearned to get them back. And when you miss a car, you say, that was a great car, because I've had 3 Porsches now, and I like this one best. And I had a different McLaren, and I like the one I've got now best. So I sold them and bought them back. So that's actually the story with this one.
Now, Mark, you may have mentioned this, but I mean, how many Porsches have you had in your life?
I've had 3. I had a 2011 C4S like this one. Again, I like the C4S for the safety factor. Then I wanted to upgrade, get something newer, and that's when I ordered this one. Then I sold this one, got a McLaren, not that McLaren, a different one. And then I reordered another C4S, but a red one, which is kind of like the famous red color of Porsche. And it just didn't really spark me as much as the McLaren did, so then I sold that one. So I've had three Porsches, 2 McLarens, sold that one, bought this McLaren back, and then we're back on track.
Not the actual model, the actual cars you sold and bought back?
Right, literally the same car I found, tracked them both down, and repurchased both.
I love stories like that. You hear that where people say, I went back and I purchased my grandfather's car or my dad's car, and it's great that you were able to find your exact car. Now, how far from you were they?
Both were in Texas, so both were pretty close.
Oh, pretty close.
Both in the Houston area, right?
Yeah, so that worked out convenient for you.
Yeah.
So your Porsche 911 is a rear-engine car.
Yeah, truly a rear engine, because the engine sits behind the rear axle. So actually, as all 911s are, a rear engine car. This is a 3.0 liter twin turbo, 450 horsepower. The S is for the sport model. It's a sport model. It's a 4S, meaning it's an all-wheel drive. When I said I special ordered this car, I special ordered it with the rear wheel steering. So I also wanted the all-wheel drive because it's a rear-engine car. They used to call some variants of the 911 the Widowmaker, because the rear engine, if it gets out from under you, the car can, of course, fly out into a tree or something. So I got it with all of the driver aids that I could to help make up for the rear-engine design, which just scares some people. The rear wing comes up interesting at certain speeds to give more downforce. This is just the engine cover that I lifted, but this is the rear wing, which comes up above 75 miles per hour to give you more downforce to keep the car planted.
Do you say Porsche or Porsche? And if somebody says it wrong, you don't get too bent out of shape, do you?
I don't pay attention to it. I do say Porsche, not Porsche. But that's just from hearing it so many times over the last 30 years, I guess. So I just say Porsche, but I don't pay attention. If you say the other way, it's fine with me. So hey, look, the weather's nice. Let's go for a ride.
Sounds good to me. Just tell us some of the features in the interior here in the cockpit of the Porsche 911.
Well, the car's got everything modern that you could possibly want. You've got a lot of the driving aids down here. You see the sport button. The car is pretty fast enough if it's not in sport mode, but you can always hit sport mode. You've got all your driving aids here, air conditioning, of course, your navigation. Interestingly, the thing about Porsche is they've always had the key on the left-hand side, and so that's way out here where I started it, and we'll just go out this way, I guess. really glad I reacquired this car, is that I can take a wife and my 4-year-old in it, and we can travel and go places. So this is probably my favorite now. The McLaurin is very unique, but it's very specialized. It's not something I can go anywhere with the family in. I'm gonna put it in sport. Not that we're trying to break any laws, but just for you to.
So obviously, Mark, somebody gets in a car like this, and we're guys, we're dudes. You get in a car like this, you think, all right, this is going to be great. I'm going to take somebody on the highway. I'm going to race. But first of all, that's probably impractical and besides illegal. Tell us why you don't really like to get in these and show off and race and all that.
Yeah, I mean, this is, I know what the cars are capable of, both this and my McLaurin, and they draw attention, and they do draw an adolescent who wants to test it, wants to race. They want to race their car. I've been a lawyer for over 30 years, and I've been a state court judge for over a decade here in the Boyles Parish. And if you're racing with someone and someone dies, that's a second-degree murder charge, and it's legitimate for a good cause. I mean, because as a lawyer, I've represented people charged with that before, and as a judge, I've sentenced people to Department of Corrections, state prison, for drag racing and resulting in someone's death. So these cars are fine, and I don't mind testing this car and going out and when I'm in the right area, either on a track or a desolate area. And but it's not why I have the car. It's not to show off and rev it up in front of someone, and it's certainly not to race anyone. You're asking for Department of Corrections state jail time. I'm not flooring the car, and I'm not going to do that. But
Mark put it in this sport mode. We kind of took it center of the road, and this thing you didn't feel a bump. You didn't, it just handled so well. It's such a great feeling car. And a lot of sports cars, and really, you got to give Porsche its due, but sometimes a lot of the Porsches, they were like, hey, we're great when we're fast, but when we're on the road, sometimes you feel the bumps. But this 911, you don't feel a lot of that.
No, and you're gonna drive this, and if you'd like to, in a few minutes, and you'll see that it's probably one of the smoothest, best handling cars you've ever been in.
Me turn down driving a sports car? I don't think so.
Is it too late? Do we have to go home?
No, I think we got plenty of time.
All right, let's do that.
All right, I just figured out that Mark here in Hessmer might be a little crazy because he's going to let me strap in and drive his Porsche 911. So Mark's going to let me take us out on the road a little bit. We'll open it up. He's got it in sport mode. And I just can't believe how smooth this is. Now, for public service reasons, we're not going to tell you how fast I'm going on this 45-mile-an-hour road, but I can tell you it's a little bit more than that, and it's fine, and I appreciate Mark letting me do that. Mark, I could feel what you were talking about earlier, how they've improved these, so the stability is just amazing. And with the kind of speed that this car can go, there was a time when it didn't have a lot of the stability, safety features on it that I'm sure a lot of people just got themselves in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not careful, and if you're driving an older one, and if you don't have your driver's age, then yeah, it can be a very dangerous car.
I wouldn't want it to happen, but it would make for a fun video if lights on a police car did come on. Yeah.
What we're dealing with here is a complete lack of respect for the law.
Mark, I enjoyed cruising around in the car, but if I wanted to stop at the convenience store a little bit and grab me a soft drink, it looks like it's missing cup holders.
Well, they've made a very efficient use of a very small car. You've got some compartments here, and the cup holders are here. They work for whatever size cup you have.
As mentioned at the start of the show, be sure to check out our other episode featuring Mark and his 2012 McLaren. Thanks for watching today's episode. If you'd like to show off your ride, let us know at CajunClassicCarsTV.com. Cajun Classic Cars TV, where you and your car are the stars.